Hello YouTube, welcome back to Black Belt Gamers. This is Spoofy here. Today I want to go through a little bit more in-depth on the Lance. Since I've had a lot more time with it, I've found a couple of more unique mechanics, more hidden details. So I kind of want to just go through and cover everything, maybe a little bit of build options, a little bit of gameplay styling, and a little bit of like if you're just learning Lance, entry-level details, some moderate details, and then some more advanced strategies. So basically, the Lance, as far as like there's no meter to manage other than your stamina. Every weapon has to manage some form of stamina if you're dodging and things like that, but we don't have to build up like spirit gauges, we don't have to worry about shells, we don't have to worry about ammunition. So the Lance is a relatively simple weapon. Our main function is the fact that we can find the monster, get about this close, and this is where we fight the entire time. You don't really have to worry about anything else. The closer you can be to the legs and the head, or the legs and the tail, that's going to be the positioning that you want, because it's a lot easier for you to single target right to the leg and then right back to the head without having to really change your position too much. Whereas if I'm fighting directly from the head, you know, I can't get to the leg unless I cover a little bit of ground, or if I want to get to the tail, I got to cover some ground. So these corner spots, say where their armpits are, just in front of their leg if they're bipedal, and just behind their forelegs or hind legs if they're quadrupeds. So good positioning is going to be about that. But as far as the Lance goes, like attack-wise, we do have a little bit more options now from older Monster Hunter games. We still got our triple pokes low thrust, or mid thrust, triple pokes high thrust. We also have leap thrust now, which we can just do from standard. We have our wide sweep, which we have to combo into. You cannot just wide sweep, you have to do one attack first. And you can interweave low, high, wide sweep, leap, high, wide sweep, leap, wide sweep, low, you know, so you can chain things however you want. We also have the ability to guard pretty quickly in between our attacks, as long as we haven't done something highly committal, like our finisher here. 1, 2, I can block after the second. I can't block after the first one. I have to wait for the second one. Boom. It'll block after the second, so that's a little bit of timing. And when we start getting into the more unique attacks, that's going to involve a little bit more shield play. So right now I have this thing set up to do strong attack, which you cannot block. And I also took off my guard up. So if I don't have guard up, I can't just standard block this. Ugh, just can't block it. There's not many attacks in the game that are like that, but grabs and a few of the larger beams. But especially once we get to master rank, that's going to be a lot more prevalent. In Rise, you could insta-block these, but as you see there, I did press guard, but I still got hit. So we cannot block that. And as far as I know, I don't think you can use power guard to block it either, but just for the sake of proof of concept, if power guard won't block it, your perfect guards won't block it. But just because you don't have guard up doesn't mean you can't brute force your way through an attack. We still have our charge counter. Oh, that'll go through it. So there is that option. But now if we put our guard up back on, so now we're just going to have all that set up. Now we can just run up and block. Boom. We can still block. But if you block an unblockable, you're going to get that big amount of kickback. Even if you perfect guard it, you're still going to have that ton of kickback. But even if you get that, you still have follow-up options. I can do my quick return thrust. The one that I usually do more often is the payback thrust, because that lets you lead right into your triple thrust. And then you also have your last one, your retribution thrust, which does more damage based on how much you absorb. And if you power guard, now you get your grand retribution thrust. Look at how much that did. That's an insane amount of damage right there. So So if you know they're doing a huge attack, that's when you want to line up that one. It does take a little bit more involvement, but you, boom, go right to Power Guard, right to your Grand Retribution Thrust. But now let's just go back. So we got into a little bit of technicality there, but I wanted to show off the other moves just so you know that they're there. And whenever I'm playing Lance, I'm generally always in focus mode. I don't play with toggle, but you can play with toggle if you wish. The reason why I don't play with toggle is if the monster jumps and I just need to change my direction quick, just let go. Boom, now I'm facing the other way real quick without having to worry about my camera. Otherwise you have to turn and face them. So if you need to make quick direction switches, it's a lot quicker that way than moving your camera. So now if you're just picking up Lance, one of the easier ways to play is you just do a couple of pokes, and you can always just hold this charge counter. It will always counterattack anything. It doesn't consume stamina. You can hold this as long as you want. As long as you face towards the monster, you will return a counter back. So this is literally the safest possible weapon in the game. You can sit here and block anything. If you have a build set up to where you even restore a little bit of health on hit, you can sit here and it's really, really easy to just kind of see the monster's moves, learn when it's going to hit you, boom, and just start to get your attacks off. And then if you're running paralysis weapon like I am, the moment they get paralysis, then you just start going nuts and doing your attack rotations, whatever you want. That's just kind of basics. Now if we want to do a little bit more advanced stuff, trying to work on your perfect guards, that's just going to be blocking the moment you get hit. So after you've practiced with your charge counter so you can learn the timings, and you just want to block as soon as you get hit. Oh, don't get hit like that. But you'll usually hear an audio cue if you got a perfect guard, and if you're in the training room, it'll give you the prompt where it'll say perfect guard. Just like that. And once you get your perfect guard, you have 3 follow-ups. If you just press Y, you get a quick return thrust. It does do more damage than a standard poke does. Boom. It's the quickest follow-up that lets you guard the soonest. And off of another perfect guard, you can do the payback thrust. It does a double hit, and it lets you lead right into your 3 poke finishers. And then the last one, I don't really use it that much off perfect guards, but if you perfect guard a strong attack, that's when you want to use retribution thrust, because its damage scales off of the amount of damage that your block absorbed. So, and the same is true for your Power Guard Grand Retribution Thrust, which does a metric ton of damage. One other thing with the Retribution Thrust is if you want to use it as more of a combo tool, it does let you go straight into a charged version of your dash attack if you land it good. So you can do big strings of damage like that, boom. And if you want to get mounts, just go right into this, jump attack, and hit. You gotta hit them twice. I don't know if it lets you mount the training dummy, but it is a combo tool that you can use. Get your perfect guard, lead into your dash attack, boom. And one other cool trick is you can perfect guard out of your dash attack. So if you can line up, say, a string of attacks, perfect guard, retribution thrust. Oh, well, now he's knocked down, but I can just sit here and charge until my stamina's gone. So I can do quite a bit of DPS this way. It does eat through a little bit of sharpness, but this is the highest DPS the Lance can do. But I just sit here running, and I perfect block right out of it. Go right into a Grand Retribution Thrust, and then back into my dash attack. Another perfect guard, right back into your Retribution Thrust. Boom. So you can do things like that. That's your more advanced stuff. But once you start getting into a really good rotation, you can attack almost right up to when you're going to get hit, land your perfect guards. And you can even cancel right from that back into your charge. Boom. But this is why I like Lance so much. You can just literally just go ham. go nuts. Like, the monster's attacks are mostly irrelevant once you start getting really good at this. And there, oh, see, I mistimed it, but hey, because it's the charge counter, it still blocks for me, so you do get a little bit of leeway, but it does take a little bit of timing for that charge counter, the whole, like, kind of little upswing portion of it. So right here, whoa, that little bit, that's where the brace is. As long as the lance is dragging on the ground, basically, the moment it pops off the ground, that's when you can start getting hit. So it takes a little bit to figure out, like, the monster's hitboxes, but as long as you time it just right there, boom, you'll get your hits off of it. So lance is a lot of fun. I'll end up going and doing hunt after this, but I do want to show my build a little bit. I do like my bruiser builds, and if you're playing later game, you know Gore Magala is kind of a bit of a menace. He does hit very hard, and even on block. So I run the Arc Vulcan chest and waist, and the Guardian Arkfeld helm and arms, so that I can get the where are they? The 2 set bonus there. The Arkveld's Hunger, that heals me based off attacking, so they're tiny heals, and then Decimator lets me get bigger heals off of wounds. So I slot in medicine so that I get bigger healing from that. And since I am a lance, and since I have a self-healing build, I consider this to be more of a tank. The setup of the Arkveld's armors does have Alluring Pelt or Diversion on it, and what fits better into getting wounds than Part Breaker and having Diversion? So the monster's more likely to attack me. I deal more damage off of popping wounds, so this build has a few moving parts that just work really well together. And if you slot in the right decorations, you'll have maximum weakness exploit, you get Part Breaker, you can swap some of the talisman and some of the decorations for more like comfort stuff. If you want to be even tankier, you can throw on, where is it? There, you can throw on a defense boost, swap the medicine for 3 defense jewels, and then you'll have like 460 defense, and your resistances will be much higher. I like the self-improvement jewel. Fights don't last long enough to get maximum potential out of it, but it's an extra slot. You can swap it for whatever you want. I also have the Flash Pod Jewel. You can swap that for whatever you want. You don't need 3 levels of brace, but for me, sometimes I like having just that negate knockback, negate trips and stuff, for if I do mistime my counter, I don't get knocked down. So I still take the hit, but I don't trip, I don't stagger. Unless it's a really strong hit, then obviously I get hit by it. But then as far as decorations, I have, you know, some pretty good optimized ones. I have offensive guard, crit status, and guard up, all that have Iron Wall sub skills, so I also get guard 3. You don't necessarily need those. I would recommend at least 1 point of guard up. And offensive guard, you don't need crit status. You can swap that for whatever type of lance you want to use. But if you do like to play a more like damage heavy build, you can do something like this. Use some Jin Dahad to get that counter, and then Gore Magala to get a little bit more damage off of the Black Eclipse and the Frenzy Virus. I also, because I saw a build that was like this, but they swapped the gloves for something else to get weakness exploit and things like that, but because my lance already has 30% affinity on it, I didn't need it. And since we're going to be running with the Frenzy Virus, I threw on 1 more piece of the Dahad so that I can get the Resuscitate, which gives you bonus attack when you're inflicted with an ailment. So how this works is, when I'm getting rid of the Fury buff, I have higher attack, and then once I get rid of it, the attack goes away, but then my crit goes higher. So I always have a damage bonus when I'm in either subset, rather than waiting until I get the crit bonus to get the damage. And because I have 30% affinity, the amount that I get from Maximum Might and Agitator and the Frenzy Virus puts this build at 100% affinity with no need for weakness exploit. So you can run crit status and have 100% bonus on all of that without having to worry about hitting weak zones all the time. And this does have a couple of nice little bonuses. Constitution helps with blocking, adaptability helps with not needing hot and cold drinks and things like that. I slotted in one decoration of Coalescence just so that I would have a little bit more status once I get rid of the Frenzy Virus, so that kind of does help a little bit. But for the most part, none of these builds are truly min-maxed because obviously we're still in early high rank. But Lance is very, very, very satisfying to play now as far as a Monster Hunter game goes. It's probably... I don't necessarily want to say it's more fun than Rise Lance is yet, because wire bugs were a lot of fun. It was crazy arcadey, and that was some of the more flashy combat we've ever had in a Monster Hunter game. But as far as like traditional weapon Lance style play, this is by far the best. The counters feel the best, the blocking feels the best, the amount of damage this thing dishes out feels really good. So it's very, very satisfying. So we're just going to go take on this Arc Bell. Which food buff do I have? Ooh, I better finish that off quick. So, and my whole goal whenever I put together my Bruiser builds with my Lance is once you get those like self-sustain abilities, like I have the attacking heals me and the popping wounds heals me, my whole goal is to allow myself to have 100% uptime regardless of whether I'm taking damage or not. I don't ever want to have to stop and drink a potion. If I can take 1 or 2 hits, maybe drop to half health and then fill it back up by fighting, I will always take that over stopping to drink some potions. Because in Rise we had the Kushala Daora healing, just passive healing, and then later on we eventually got other types of healing. But yeah, the whole goal is to just demolish monsters. My clash? Oh, no, not on that attack. Should have broke that wound, or not the wound broke. Now you think you'd want to hit Arc Belt's head, but his weak zone, his weakest spot to hit is actually his chains. You deal more damage on his chains than you do anywhere else. Oh, the terrain got me. Yeah, every once in a while there's a few spots on the map where the terrain just kind of gets you a little bit. Ooh, here, take that. Always going for my cat. There we go, give me that wound. Oh, and I forgot to go over the damage rotation. I do my third poke as a high thrust because it's a little bit faster than the mid thrust. And it does more damage. And I also do the little sidestep mid thrust because they are also faster. Oh, I was too late on that. And I don't have anything in my slinger, so I can't shoot him in the mouth. Maybe I'll stab him enough and get out. Oh, yes, I did. Alright, well, we still got a second. We'll put the slinger. Oh, he's going for my cat there. Ooh. A little bit too committed on that leaping thrust. And Getting too committed on that dash attack. But there we go. See, now we got a little bit low health. There's a wound right there if I can get it. Just gotta play a little bit safer with my blocks. Oh no, he actually got me, but my cat's gonna res me. I just got way too greedy. Usually that type of stuff doesn't happen. But if you're playing solo, you do get that benefit of having one revive from your cat. I want that wound though. There we go, give me that one. And you can also go for KOs. I do it a lot more than I think other Lancers do. Because the shield dash here, the focus strike does KO damage pretty well. And it's a little bit leaning forward, or movement attack, I should say, is what I meant to say. It covers a little bit of distance for you. Well, we'll get that into that retribution thrust. Look at that damage right there. Boom. Broke his chain. Perfect. And I only did one leap strike there because now I'm waiting until it says he's going to try to leave. Like that. And we can get our mount right there so we can hold him here and get a little bit more time. So that's one way to kind of keep a monster around. Just save your mount for when they're about to leave. And after I knock him down, it's going to sheath my weapon for me, so I'm going to go ahead and equip my flash pods.
You did it!
Come on. No, I don't want the capture net, I want the flash pods. What? I would like to know why that didn't work. So I've noticed that for whatever reason, like sometimes when the monster's trying to leave, your flash pods, they just don't work. And I don't know why. But he's right behind that rock right now. So drop that on him and get some good damage. I think I've done enough to KO him pretty soon here. Guard dash, there it is. Now I don't want to break his other chain yet, because right now if I break it while he's KO'd, it won't give me the knockdown. Oh, there I broke it. But now we're going to fight on top of our cat's trap here. How did that hit me? There are some things that I don't understand why the hits happen. Because I was doing my counter right there, holding it, and I should have returned whatever attack he was sending my way. Well, that was my bad. Early, but now I got my slinger, so we just aim at his mouth and shoot right away. I could capture him right now, but we'll chase him down. Oh, he's flying quite a ways away. Yeah, there's still some times that I don't understand why the flash pods don't work the way they're supposed to. Because that last one, when I fired it, it should have been in the right spot. It's either that or you have to try to do it before they're doing the transition to a new area. Because at some point they just have an immunity to it. And there's not really any discernible reason as to why. Oh, we might get a little bit of a turf war here. Look at that, we got some free Balahara materials. Thanks, Arkveld. But we get all sorts of free damage here. I really don't like fighting on this weird hill, though. It's kind of awkward. And this attack, it looks scary, but if you're point blank, you really can't do anything to you with it. So basically, right where the lance is going to be fighting, that attack doesn't do anything. Take that tail. Give me that tail. Oh, perfect. Nice paralysis. I'm gonna save that tempered wound. Oh. Try to get behind him here real quick. We can use that wound to knock him down. If I can get past his leg. Dang, missed it. Yeah, that's why I don't like fighting on this hill. It says it's supposed to mess up the monster's footing, fighting on that hill, but I've never seen the monster lose their footing or their attack or anything like that from there. So if it does do anything, it's minor. Oh yeah, and there's one other attack thing that I didn't really go over, and that's the guard dash shield slap. I use it a little bit for mobility options. I'll go over it real quick before we wake up Arkveld here. But everything for Lance is rules of 3. You can poke 3 times, you can dodge 3 times, but certain moves like the guard dash and stuff, so 1, 2, 3, if I keep attacking, it'll just do the triple thrust and go back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. But I'll usually go dodge forward, guard dash, dodge forward, you know, boom, guard dash, boom, guard dash, boom. Then I don't have to worry about the rule of 3. And you can cancel the guard dash into a leaping thrust by pressing B. You can cancel it into a shield slap by pressing Y, but that's all you got. And you guard dash by pressing guard and then just pressing Y. So, well, let's wake him up. This is the biggest attack we got. Wound. Take that wound. I want that back one. There we go. Perfect. Give that to me. Thank you. Ooh, another wound. We'll take that too. Oh, and he's done. Yeah, if you just practice with a little bit of the timing and start doing the bigger counters, then you can start taking out the monsters a whole lot faster. So that was just kind of a free flow one, not practiced, not optimized by any means. But for most of them, I can just sit here and hold this counter if I just want to get a regular return thrust. Makes it very safe to play this weapon. Anybody can do it. And the hunts will take a little bit longer, but it should be very hard for you to actually like take any significant hits if you just do 1, 2, charge counter. Let them hit you in return. 1, 2. Let them hit you in return. And it'll just make it trivializes the game. I have no other way to put it. It trivializes the game if you play that way. You won't kill the monsters very fast, but you will be able to beat just about everything, as long as you're not fighting like multiple monsters all at once, like those Doshiguma herds. But Lance can fight stuff like this pretty easily.
Looks like the monster
The amount of return attacks that you get aren't as many, but it's very, very hard for the monsters to actually do anything to you as long as you're managing your stamina and you're able to block. Because you'll be able to throw a few return thrusts back. And Lance also has if you're blocking, every time you block an attack, you do that little shield bash. So if you sit there long enough, you'll KO the monster doing stuff like that too. So it just ends up being a really fun weapon. It's an easy weapon to get into, but it's also kind of a harder weapon to master because you really have to throw, you know, all of your safety away to really do the super risky stuff. So I'm going to sit here and play around with these things for a little bit. As long as I keep them all in front of me. It's once one gets behind me when it starts to get a little overbearing. It's kind of hard to see though. But yeah, I can just sit here. Granted, these are low tier hunts for me with the gear that I have, but as long as you just keep them all in front of you, kind of just play around with them. Just trying to watch where everything is. Make sure I'm doing some back steps. Yeah, see, now they got me kind of surrounded. Gotta watch out for that roar. You can also guard dash backwards, so something that I don't do very often, but you can stab backwards, guard dash backwards. So. Just hang out inside all these Doshigumas. I don't know how much longer I'm going to sit here and mess around with these. This is kind of fun though. I haven't done this in a while, but it's a good way to practice your timing. See, I'm just throwing out that counter in there and it's just returning. Like, you don't even need to worry about your timing sometimes. And that's kind of how Lance was back in Tri. You just throw out that little counter there. Just getting power clash after power clash. Oh, just hitting everything. Look at that. Yeah, I couldn't even block in that little section, but you can use these wounds and start hitting all the monsters with them. But yeah, if they start chaining attacks in odd angles like that, it's hard to really do anything with it. But yeah, now that they're leaving, that was enough kind of playing around with those. But yeah, Lance it's a lot of fun. Totally a lot of fun. It's easy to get into, hard to master, but It also pairs well for like armor build wise with other weapons. Can pair it with longsword, can pair it with greatsword, can even pair it with another lance. One of my favorite ways to pair it is with gun lance. You make a sleep primary lance, and then you have your gun lance for wyvern's fire. So you put him to sleep, and then you wake him up with the wyvern's fire, which is a lot of fun. But anyway, that's kind of this little lance guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna finish up hunting these and stop yapping. But yeah, just give it a try. I guarantee you, you'll like it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great weapon, especially now, better than it's ever been. And, yeah, I'll see you out here hunting. Take care.
eye contact with it. a treat to watch you work, Hunter.
Look at all our ingredients. We should whip out the barbecue grill.